Hello, my name is Andrew Doherty. I live in Cheekpoint in County Waterford, and I run a social media page called Waterford Harbour Tides and Tales on Facebook and Twitter, where I post about the maritime heritage of Cheekpoint, but the wider Three Sister Rivers and the communities here in the harbour as well. I do a monthly blog, and I've written two books. The first, Before the Tide Went Out, was a memoir about growing up in Cheekpoint and what it was like to be part of a commercial fishing family. And my new book is coming out in September, published by the History Press in the UK, and it's going to be a collection of stories about yarns and funny stories about the maritime heritage of the area. My earliest memory of the library is the mobile library that used to travel around the county, and it used to pull up one afternoon a month in Cheekpoint. I remember the locals lined up with their bags of books, and the librarian and the driver would pull up at the footpath at the Mount Avenue in Cheekpoint where we lived, and the door would open into the side and we would file in, and you would drop off the books that you had, and then you would browse the shelves down both lines of it and pick whatever titles you wanted for the next month. I suppose these days it's much more easy to get to the library, and it's also easy to get to it online. But as part of the work that I do, I find a number of different services that the library does to be quite important for me. I suppose firstly there's the Waterford Room and Central Library, where there's so many rare books and so many collectible books that give an insight into Waterford's history. There's also the archive in Dungarvan Library, and I often go down there even just to chat to Joanne Ratwell. Is always going to be inspiring and give you a lot of information. In Dunmore East, for example, then the Barney Galtier Historical Society has donated a lot of private papers and a lot of extra information into the library over there, much of it from John Burke, the secretary, and John, of course, and his daughter Fatty have contributed some fantastic books on Ireland's history in the last couple of years. I suppose in terms of my own work, one of the things that I find very useful is to go into the Arkeen Library and sit at one of the computers there and access the computer, access the newspaper archive. And what I find with newspapers is that very often it gives you very particular pieces of information that give you unique insight into particular events that bring stories to life and really make it more interesting and enjoyable. So I'm really looking forward to COVID-19 being closed or finished and us being able to get back into the library. But until then, we'll keep on accessing it online. Take care. Bye-bye.